In the quiet village of Numbara, where mud houses clung close to one another and the forest breathed just beyond the last footpath, lived a hunter named Kofi. He was a man of routine. Every dawn, before the sun lifted its orange head above the trees, Kofi took his bow, his worn leather bag, and disappeared into the forest. Hunting was not just his work, it was the rhythm of his life. One morning, the forest broke its silence. As Kofi followed a narrow trail deeper than usual, he heard a sound that did not belong to birds or beasts. It was soft, broken, human. He stopped, heart tightening, and followed the sound until he reached a clearing where the sunlight spilled like water. There, beneath a tree, sat a woven basket. Inside it lay a baby girl. She was wrapped in faded cloth, her tiny fists clenched as if holding on to the world itself. Her cry was weak, tired, as though she had already cried too long. Kofi stood frozen. In all his years of hunting, he had never brought anything living back from the forest, except meat. Yet here was a child, abandoned between roots and shadows. He lifted her gently. She stopped crying almost at once, blinking up at him with wide, dark eyes. "I can't leave you here," he whispered. When Kofi returned home that evening, the basket was still in his arms. His wife, Amma, looked up from the fire and stiffened. Her eyes moved from the basket to her husband's face, then back again. "What is that?" she asked. "A child," Kofi said carefully. "I found her in the forest." Amma's face hardened. "In the forest," she repeated, "or somewhere else." Kofi frowned. "What do you mean?" But Amma had already turned away, her mind racing faster than his words could catch. She had no children of her own, and the village women had whispered for years. Now her husband returned with a baby, one he claimed to have found. "You have brought your shame into my house," she said quietly. Kofi tried to explain. He spoke of the basket, the crying, the emptiness of the forest. He pleaded, he swore, but Amma heard betrayal in every word. That night, the baby slept between them, and Amma lay awake, staring at the ceiling, her heart burning with resentment. By morning, she spoke again. "I will raise her," Amma said, "but she will never forget she is not mine." Kofi bowed his head in gratitude, unaware of the weight those words carried. They named the child Sela, meaning the one who stayed. Sela grew quickly, from a quiet baby into a curious toddler, always trailing behind her father, always watching the world with careful eyes. Kofi adored her. He carried her on his shoulders, taught her names of birds, and laughed when she mimicked his hunting stance with a stick too big for her hands. Amma fed her, clothed her, taught her chores, but love did not live in Amma's hands. Sela learned early that affection was something earned, not given. She worked harder than other children, spoke softer, smiled less. When village women praised her beauty, her smooth skin, her bright eyes, Amma's smile tightened. "Do not let praise enter your head," she would say. "Remember where you came from." By the time Sela reached 11, she understood one truth clearly. Her father was her shelter, her stepmother was her storm, and storms, she learned, always waited